Topic. So stick around for that. Guys, if you're enjoying this content, hit that follow button right now. Make sure notifications are on so you know I'm going live videos all the time. We're day in, day out. We are providing content either here on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe over there. Exclamation point social for our social media, right? We got Twitter where we tweet things, letting you know what's going on. Hey, check us out on Twitter. TikTok, of course, is where we post clips of this show and maybe some other content as well. And Discord, Heart and Soul of the Community. Everything happens on Discord. So hit us up on Discord. Follow us there and be a part of the community. YouTube is where you find the VODs. Again, like, comment, subscribe. They're on YouTube. Support the channel, subs to the channel, super chats, all that good stuff. Help out this community, keep us up and running. Okay, we'll go on to our next topic. A female sexpert opened up about being polyamorous. She said that women can't be open with men because men don't like what they hear. She talks about how, just like men, she would love to have a threesome, but with two males. Men reject this out of hand, though they also push her for a threesome with two women. What do you think about this? Would you be okay about doing a threesome with two men? And if you can't listen to the desires of your female partner, then why should she ever listen to you? This was, I can show you the link. This was, it's just a quick thing on Instagram. I'll put the link in chat. You guys can check that out. And yeah, so this woman is talking about that. And I thought it was an interesting point that men's desires are kind of seem to be paramount in these situations, and they like kind of just ignore, like don't even take seriously that women might want to do something a bit different. And that's completely out of bounds, but what they want definitely is. Yeah, gonna talk about this about threesomes. Yeah, and we'll start with my man Bam.
Yeah, I was just reading off this topic to my girlfriend, and I was letting her know it ain't no way on God's green earth.
You a fucking lie. See?
We are ever having threesome involved with two males. So not shaming it. It's just not happening in this household. That's what we said with it. But let's see here. Being completely honest, it's not incorrect. But the thing here's the cool thing about the world. You don't gotta be here. We can all find that person who's for you, who's cool with doing the things you like. So I found my beautiful woman who is potentially okay with like threesomes, girl threesome, and I'm not gonna be okay with male threesomes. So it works for us. Love is love.
All right.
Sounds like you've got the dream.
Let's go. Dream.
This is so easy. I don't know. It's like just don't do what you don't want to do. It's that simple. And so you don't have to do everything your partner wants to do, and you don't have to be interested in the same type of things. So if one party wants to have a threesome in a certain way, and the other party does too, but the other party wants to have it in a not only in that way, but another way, but the other party doesn't, then it seems like you have to cross out where at least one person doesn't agree and go where both agree. Right? It's all about what you want to do. Me personally, I don't ask for things that I'm not willing to give. So there was a point in time where I wasn't giving head to nobody, and they're like, "Oh, do you give head?" I was like, "No, I don't." I don't. I wasn't comfortable with it. I wasn't ready for it, so it doesn't make sense for me to force myself to do that. And so the girls will be giving me head, and I'll be like, "Okay, well, if that's what you want to do, I'm not gonna ask for it." I never asked them for head, but if that's what I'm not gonna stop you.
Oh,
But
he's not
if
gonna.
the-
Hey, ladies, he's
I
not gonna
see-
stop you from sucking the stick. Don't worry, ladies. Oh, hold on. Just like it's
Yeah,
okay.
that's-
he won't,
yeah,
he
I
won't
never
hold you
asked.
back. He won't throw you out.
Jay was like, it's a requirement over here, sis.
it's pretty simple.
Don't
It's pretty simple.
worry. Don't worry,
Pretty simple, like,
ladies.
They
You get
so
the
I have a
privilege
girl-
of sucking a stick. Don't worry.
I have a
Ladies,
girlfriend
don't
now
worry.
of 2 years, right? So I don't have
years
that
to
issue
get to
anymore.
their point.
But the point is, you have to be able. You just have to be okay with consent. Like, oh, I want to have a threesome with 2 guys. Baby, I'm not comfortable with that. Okay, that's what a conversation should end. You shouldn't have to require him to want to do that. Like he doesn't have to be outside of his place sexually in his comfortable space to be, he doesn't have to experiment. Let him come to that on his own, right? Same goes if you don't have to force a woman to want to have a threesome with 2 girls. Like, she doesn't have to do that. Like, it's just all about consent. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. It's that simple. I mean, we don't have to really dive too much deep into this.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Ace.
I think this is a non-issue. Polyamorous relationships are not relationships, in my opinion. They're not real relationships. I have a real distaste for any type of lecherous behavior in general. I don't like felonious sexual activity. However, if it is with consenting adults, let them do as they please. But I know, as for me personally, in my own respect in my relationships, the moment the question's asked, I will happily be single from that moment forward.
Wow. Okay. I'll go to Bo.
Hey guys. Ironically, out of everyone here, Pace has actually said the most logical thing that matches up with the correct argument. Ironically, so people, the threesome aspect and polyamorous aspect, 2 separate things, completely 2 separate things, and it actually is annoying when people equate them together. So the whole threesome aspect, I'll hit that first. Exactly what you define as a threesome. Now, me, logically, threesome requires 3 people connecting. So generally, I was talking to a friend about this. At least 2 people have to be bisexual for a threesome to happen. At least 2, no matter what. At least 2, because all 3 of you need to connect. Because it's just a line that's why I said the definition.
It could be a train.
He's saying it's gonna be
Yeah.
if it's not.
2 people having sex with one other
Sorry,
person.
oh, sorry.
is just-
I'm sorry. I interrupted his intro. Let him get
No,
his
you
intro out.
can't. You
He's
can't.
making logical
Legit.
sense. Actually, he's making.
No,
real
he's
logical-
not. But I'll deal with that later. But
Not
no,
every
Go ahead.
not every train's a threesome, is what he's saying.
No. So the premise of a threesome is everyone's connected. Everyone is connected. This person's connected to this person. This person. They're all connected or touching. That's what I say. That's why I said at the beginning. What your definition is of a threesome. For me, the definition
He's
of a
saying
threesome.
simultaneous twosomes. That's
No,
what's going on.
look. Let him finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me finish. So that's where the premise is. At least 2 people have to be bisexual for this to properly happen. For all 3 people to be involved with all 3 people at the same exact time. Otherwise, it's a line. So that's where generally, and the problem where it comes in for most guys is, as by default, we're very, very territorial. We want to protect our women. I know I want to protect my woman. Even though I was in polyamory, kind of still am. Anyways, so outside of that, people have to forget with polyamory world, there's 2 things you have to realize. The level of jealousy is extremely low, and the level of selfishness generally is a lot higher. So you can say, okay, well, my partner doesn't want to have a threesome with me. Depending on the dynamic of your polyamorous relationship, you can say, okay, cool, I'll just go find 2 other people to do it with. That's what people keep equating to. So that lady is trying to, when I heard her, she's trying to guilt her man that she just had a threesome with into wanting to, or if she didn't, she was trying to guilt that guy. Is like, okay, cool, we're polyamorous, you should be able to accept this. No. You set the rules of how your specific polyamorous relationship works. If you want to bring a 3rd in, go for it. If you want to say you can go out and go into other couples, you can do that. Whatever those rules were, her problem is she didn't establish anything. She's just trying to. Yeah, okay,
Well,
that's
I
it.
don't know if you can say that. Oh my god. I'll deal with you later. Jay Cook, please.
Your microphone's muted.
Oh my
Welcome
god,
back.
this is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the last question actually should be. It sounds like I feel like Joe was gonna say something similar, but it sounds like everyone is willing to listen to their partner's desires around having a threesome or having a polyamory relationship. But I want to pose a question: would anyone act if you aren't willing to act on your partner's desires? Then why should they? I think
Exactly.
that's a better question, because it sounds like everyone's open. And then, yeah, of course, I'd be okay with doing a threesome with 2 guys. Are you kidding me? That's like dream. But no one in any relationship that I've been in, like, no guy has ever been open to that. So it's never happened. Yeah, I think it's just a conversation.
Just find a bisexual
I'm-
guy. It'll happen
I'm
as
not.
much as you want.
I'm sorry, buddy. Like, shout out to you, Jay Cook. Right? Like, high five. All right. Well, hopefully make the hat. Other way. Yeah. Yeah. Not your
Wow.
wall. What?
Wow.
Okay. Come on. Yeah.
Yo,
Okay. There we
wow.
go.
I'm gonna go deep in on this topic because I have
You
You did it,
stories.
Joe.
Yeah,
I
we
have
did it.
stories for this
My
topic.
man.
It's great.
My man, Joe Lewis.
Men are homophobic and dickphobic, so it kind of prevents them from exploring their sexuality. I mean, it's fine. Like, I don't know, man. If you want something with your partner, you kind of want it in like the totality of it, right? So it's like, I don't really think it's fair to say that, like, okay, I want a threesome with my partner, and it's like, okay, what kind of threesome do you want? And I think a lot of times men dictate that conversation of what they want for them and not necessarily for the partner. And that's not always the case. But I think that most people who take these sort of hard lines of being okay with threesomes with caveat, I don't think that's kind of how it flies in practice. Like, I think that you need to have like a full exploration of the conversation. Like, are you just okay with a threesome with 2 girls? Are you just okay with a threesome of 2 guys? And if you and your partner are in agreement of the parameters of the sex act that you're currently doing, that's fine in the instance, but that could change over time. Like, now, I think that you need to explore all of it in its totality so you don't run into those type of conversations where, like, if your partner wants to have a threesome with women and men, then, and you don't want to have a threesome with men, then you probably shouldn't explore that, because you're gonna create, you might create certain restrictions for your partner down the road. And I'm not really all the way down for that, but that's all I got.
Women are also
I don't-
homophobic.
I don't think that
'Cause-
makes sense.
It's a
because-
shaming tactics. Ignore it.
Because if you aren't okay with a threesome with men, but your girl is okay with the threesome with men and okay with a threesome with girls, and you are also okay with threesome with girls, then the common denomination is what fits both of you, and you should be both okay with that, and you will be equally as happy doing.
You need 2
both.
bisexual people.
No,
You need
that's
2
not how it's
bisexual
gonna
people
work.
to
That's
No,
not
no,
how
no,
it's gonna work.
I'm saying that's what logically makes sense.
No, that
That's
doesn't.
not how it's
That's
gonna
not
work.
how it
Hold on.
works.
Hold on. Please tell
Yeah.
me. Please tell me what is wrong if you both have a common interest
Okay,
Okay,
but if you both
and you
have
both
a
do
common,
that common interest
if you
in
both
that
have a-
specific way that you both enjoy.
But
Tell
I
me what's
think
wrong with
the issue is that you have a common interest that only goes to a point for you, and that's okay if you both agree that that is the parameters
Right.
to that point. But my point is, I personally don't agree with doing a sex act that I wouldn't be able to explore in the totality of my partner, because my partner wants to go like to another level, and I can't provide that for them. Then that, I don't necessarily think that's a good beats.
That's,
Well,
not,
the-
that's
the
just
different-
simply
wait.
not true. Hold on.
There's a
hold on.
difference.
That's just
There's a
absolutely illogical because BDSM is very vast, right?
I want to
And
get this
you
from
got
my
you
prime
got
after this.
chains and whips and handcuffs and leather and all
Mhm.
that. And then at the beginning stage of BDSM is the simple choke. Now you telling me you're
Nah,
banning
bro, there's-
people from
there's a
simply
slam.
choke? From the
I-
simple
I-
choke
I
if they
don't-
can't provide the rest of BDSM?
No, I'm saying
Right.
wow, I'm saying just for me. That's the line for me.
But I'm
If
saying even for you,
if I'm unable to express the totality of my partner's sexual expression in a relationship, I'm not going to go down that road of wanting to do that particular sex act. So if I'm not down with if I'm not down with threesomes with men, but I'm down with threesomes with women, then it's off the table for me.
But does that
Especially
make
if my
you
partner is
homophobic?
down for both.
Well,
Hold on,
I
hold
think no. I think there's a
Hold
difference.
on, hold
Like, hold on, just let me say this. I think there's a difference. Like, it's okay if both people are actually interested. If there's an actual investment from both parties, that versus doing something like I wouldn't ask you. Wouldn't be fair to ask your partner to do something for you. Like, not like it's not that they hate it, but it's like, oh, it's not really their thing, but they're willing to do it for you if you're not willing to return that. But if it's something that like, oh, I really, really want to try that thing. I would also really, really want to try this other thing. But I'm super down to try this thing if you want to. Like, I think that's what Dream's dealing with. Like, two people are like actually interested in doing something.
But
Then I
when
think you
down
should
the
do it.
road,
requires.
she
I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
No, you haven't talked.
No,
a lot.
you should
Talk,
finish
woman.
that. Yeah.
Talk, woman. Go.
Jesus.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
Okay.
When down the road, right, she cuddles up and asks you that question, like, hey, you did this thing for me, can we try this thing, a threesome with two guys, you're gonna say no, right?
if you don't want to, you shouldn't have to.
Can I answer?
That's the point.
So then why is it okay to have the threesome with two girls? And
Because she's okay
yourself?
with it if she wants to.
But you're not.
and-
But okay, sure, right? She's okay with it, right?
Not just
That's-
okay
that's
with
been
it. She wants to
established.
do it. It's for her.
And she wants to.
And
Yes, but she also wants to do this other thing, and
Now,
you
you
not
don't-
doing this other thing for her, right? You're doing it for her.
Yes,
Are-
and that's what I'm saying is you should do things for each other. And so if it's
Can-
not for each other, don't do
Wouldn't
it.
that be-
And so having sex with two girls is not only for you.
No,
It's also for her.
you're
And
not
if it's
getting
only
it.
for
You're
you,
really
don't
not
do
getting
it.
it.
can I
It's
can I
a
clear the
slippery
confusion?
slope,
There's
in
confusion.
the words of Hobo's
Can I-
language.
No.
not.
Yeah, it is.
I've dealt with the situation. No,
It's steps.
stories. So let's first we have to set parameters. Jacob,
100%.
what do you consider
100%.
what do you consider a threesome? That's where this confusion is happening. What do you
Three
consider
people.
a threesome? And all
I don't
interact
think-
with
I
each
don't-
other?
Oh,
I don't think this matters. In
this
this
doesn't matter.
conversation,
This
really.
does.
doesn't matter.
It-
No, it doesn't.
doesn't.
Look,
Tell me how.
We'll
Okay.
define it
Okay.
generally. Three
Okay.
sex act, three consenting
Okay,
adults.
okay,
Right?
so
Yeah.
okay, so we'll ignore that. Okay, so we'll ignore that. All right. So here's the first thing that happens wrong, because this is a communication issue in comparison. If something is happening as an act, and you can bring it like, okay, my partner brought up the fact she wants to mess around with another girl. I'm cool with that. Now you, being the other partner, say, hey, just let you know, I don't want to do the other one. That's your job to bring up that concern. You can go along with it, but me personally, especially since I've been in that world before, you have to tell them what you're not willing to do. Because you have to accept, if you're someone that's a giver and a receiver, you have to think in the back of your head, am I willing to do this for my partner if they're willing to do this for me? And in that scenario, you need to explain to them, I am not willing to do that. Period. And I've been in that scenario where girls have brought this up to me. I'm like, yeah, of course I'll be willing to do that. And they're like, well, are you willing to do another guy? No, I'm not. And I said, okay, since I'm not willing to do that, we won't do yours either. It's only fair at that point. I'm not
Sure,
gonna
but that's
I agree.
the different issue is if it's yours.
not yours.
Let's use a
both.
real life example. Does everyone in
Yeah,
this
okay.
room fine?
Use an
Okay, actually, I'm not even gonna ask because that would be disrespectful. Beyonce is universally fine. Everybody thinks Beyonce's fine. So we get an opportunity.
I'm about to throw
Don't
your
ruin
ass off,
it.
Hobo.
You better get ruin it. Beyonce is gorgeous. So hey, blah blah blah. We got a chance to hook up with Beyonce. This is something I would do whether you were here or not. Like whether a girl, oh yeah, I just want to do this. So and she just wants to do it. So we do that together. And now she comes back and hey, we can also hook up with Jay-Z. And I'm like,
That's not a good example because that's
I'm
a
not good
respect.
enough.
That's a
Okay.
respect thing.
No,
Okay,
it's not
I
a
have a-
Respect
I-
thing.
No,
mean,
I'm
Yeah,
pointing
Okay,
out.
so
Yeah.
hold on. I'm
I'm
gonna
saying-
give it. I'm gonna give a crack at this. Okay, so
Yes,
this is why
disappointing, I'm
I
ready.
am.
Respect.
I got a problem with this. And Pace, I see you up there. I'm gonna come for you eventually too. But you wait for
Take
that.
the time.
But anyway,
It's not a topic.
so talking about like, it's not as if we are on an even playing field, right? That the desires of men and desires of women, right, within a context of relationship, just sit there neutrally, and that one suggests something, and then the other has an equal chance to say yes or no or whatever, right? There is a societal expectation that if you are open to threesomes, right, then well, of course it's going to be with two women. No, absolutely, it's going to be with two women. Like, there's no question about it. And then, of course, there's no question about the straight guy. No, he's not gonna want to do that with another guy there. I mean, hell no. No, yeah. The issue is that
Oh gosh.
to say that like it's for you, right? Like the woman who also wants to take part in a threesome with two women, right? Like, for you. No, it's for the guy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Then
most
don't do
cases-
it!
Oh,
No, that's saying that you don't believe
I
women.
was still
For the
talking.
guy.
I was pretty sure I was still talking, right?
Sorry.
Great, thank
Sorry,
you.
forgive us.
So
Dream come
for most of the times it's for the guy. Like, this idea of who it's for. It's like your partner will do things for your pleasure, right? Like, blowing you, they may do it for your pleasure, right? Yeah, sure, they get pleasure out of it too, but they're doing it for you, right? So to say that like it's such a hill to climb over, right? To do something for your partner. Hey, I really want to have this experience. This is your girlfriend. I really want to have this experience, and it's something I've always fantasized about, right? Like, and I would love to do this with you because you're the person that I love, right? I would love to try to one time. Let's give it a try. Bringing another guy into this, right? But no, you toss that out of hand. And look, again, you're right. A person should only be able to should only do what's they're comfortable with. I'm not trying to force people into that, but I'm just saying that the society has shaped those expectations very clearly, right? You can have a threesome where you're not making out with a guy, right? Like, you can have a threesome where it's about your woman. You're doing this for her, right? And whatever she wants to do there, right? That's a possibility. But like, we don't even think about that, right? And then you would say like, oh, well, the threesome of two girls, that's definitely for her too. I mean, definitely, absolutely.
Oh my god.
Unless you're saying bi girls don't
Who's
exist.
saying that, bruh?
You saying bi guys don't exist?
Yes,
I mean,
no,
I'm
bi
not
girls.
one,
Yes,
but
yes,
still.
bi women exist. Okay, moving on past that,
First,
right? But the
let's-
straight women will have a threesome with another a girl as well, right?
I would never put
Yeah,
my
that's
partner
because
through
that's
that.
because society is
I would never
homophobic.
make my partner.
Let's
do
be
that.
real.
Including and not just men,
let's
women.
let's get that out of the way. Straight women will have we're putting bisexual women aside. Straight women will have sex with another woman. For
Then they're not
for a
100%
threesome,
straight.
correct?
Sorry.
Right?
No,
Sorry,
no, no.
forget you.
So I'll
They're not
hang on.
100% straight.
Well, let me finish,
No,
let me finish,
oh my
let me
god,
finish, let me finish,
team,
here.
sorry, I can't get distracted by your nonsense
Gotta
about
break it
understanding what 100% straight means, okay, right? But like, look,
Yeah.
will straight women engage in that act again because you don't have a make out with other women?
I'm
right?
not saying they're not
Engage in
straight,
a
they're just
threesome.
not 100%.
Yeah,
They're
no,
like
whatever,
90%.
whatever,
It doesn't
whatever, who
matter.
cares,
It doesn't
whatever, who
matter.
cares?
It doesn't
Who
matter.
cares? Who cares? I'm not
It
gonna
matters.
deal with that. But like, straight women, women who call themselves straight, who operate straight, who only date men, will participate in a threesome with another woman. Correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
That does happen. So
They
here's
can
what I
self-identify straight, but it's not true.
so I'll,
whatever.
That's not important.
Just-
Oh,
Oh my
my
God.
let me say
God.
this statement. Let me say this
I
statement.
would never have sex with a man.
Oh my.
Yeah,
that's
Anyway,
what-
Okay,
Anyway,
great,
that's
great,
it.
great.
That's the
Hobo,
point.
go.
That's
Please
the
talk.
That's the point of being
Okay.
straight.
No, you did it. Sorry, hold on, sorry. You did it again.
I'm a
You did it again.
giraffe. It doesn't matter for the argument.
I just said you don't have to engage with a threesome and have sex with the other guy. That you don't have to kiss him. You don't have to fucking touch him. You don't have to touch him one goddamn time. But still, you throw it out of hand. And then after saying that, the thing you jumped to, I would never have sex with another guy. Missed the
talking
point
about the girl,
altogether.
bro.
Once again, right over your head. Thank you very much.
It's not.
Go
I
ahead,
actually attacked the
Hobo.
point directly.
Hold
Hello,
on.
wait, Jerry, let me say this. Okay, so I will say this as a very adamant statement. So I know from not from person, but from what I hear, this is one of the things that is very, very annoying. Like me personally, I will never have my partner do something they won't enjoy. Like that's just me 100%. Because at the end of the day, I like the fact that you're gonna be enjoying something. So the premise of like, oh, you're a straight woman and you don't want to have sex with a girl, but you're doing no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that because you need to be comfortable enough with me to tell me, hey, I will not enjoy doing. Yes, I want to do it for you, but I'm like, nope. No, if you're not gonna be enjoying this other person with me, it doesn't make sense. Yes, I appreciate the idea. I 100% appreciate the idea, but just buy me a fucking ice cream from Twisty Tree. I'm good with that. Like,
I just have a
That's
question.
not how sex works.
This
Sex
is
isn't
simple.
every part of sex isn't like, ooh, I'm 100% enjoying. Like, there is some level of like, I enjoy you feeling good, and we have to acknowledge that as a reality.
All that matters.
I
all what
promise
matters-
she didn't want to give you head for 20 minutes if you got head.
No,
for 20
no, no. I
minutes. She didn't wanna
understand
do
that. No,
You didn't enjoy it.
we've all been in that
depends.
situation,
It
but
depends.
you have to understand the situation. Let's use
Some girls
the
love
giving
giving
head
head.
part. Yeah. I've come across a few. So let's use that situation, right? Let's say if your girl she knows she doesn't enjoy it, right? If I'm with a girl and I know she does not enjoy it, and she tells me, "Hey, I don't enjoy doing that," which, by the way, there's a bunch of women that don't. You say, "Okay, cool. I like it, but I understand you don't enjoy doing it, and I'm not gonna enjoy the fact that I'm making
Exactly.
you. Well, not making you, but sitting here having you do something, and I know you don't enjoy. Like, how am I gonna get into this?
But
So-
you're
It's
using
about-
you're using enjoy weird. Like they
Yeah.
enjoy that you feel good, and
Yeah.
they want to because
I think
They're not getting
God of the
pleasure
same way.
from
I
it.
know
Yeah,
the word.
exactly.
I know the word that hobo.
I
wants
get
to
negative
use.
pleasure
I know,
from knowing they're not getting pleasure.
I know the
But
word that
everything
hobo.
you don't.
I know the word
We're
that
getting
hobo
real
wants to
specific.
use. Hobo wants to use the word if she's not comfortable with this act, right? Not necessarily
women-
she's not enjoying. She can enjoy. I mean, she can not enjoy it and be comfortable with it, right?
Mhm.
So if she's comfortable with the act, that's all that matters.
Yes,
If
that
both
is a-
parties are comfortable with the act of the sexual act, that's all that matters. If you're not comfortable with the act, then don't do it. It's that
Yeah, you-
simple. If you're
and
both
you as-
comfortable, do it. So when
Exactly.
in
You
a-
as
in
my
a case-
partner,
In the case of a woman being comfortable with two women, that's her prerogative and her choice. And if she wants to do that, okay, that's fine. That's cool.
For
She
sure,
wants
gonna
to do
say
that.
okay. Like,
But if a
I
man
will-
isn't comfortable with having sex with two men, including himself, then that's his prerogative as well.
We've
And
already
he doesn't have
established
to do
that.
that. Also, if a woman doesn't want to have sex with another woman, that's also her prerogative as well.
Oh my
She
God,
doesn't
you're
have
not
to do
saying
that.
anything. I'm sorry, you like
You're not-
That's the whole
said
point.
nothing
It's
this
so
entire
simple.
time. No, it's
That's
not
what I
simple.
said.
It's not simple. That's
Sex
why
is very
you've lost this
complicated.
conversation completely over your fucking head. I'm telling you, like this
All
is
right.
more complicated. The expectations that we
literally
have
in
it's
my
more
realm.
expectations. Oh my God. You're not the only ones that had a fucking threesome. Thank you. All right. I don't know why you act like the only one that
I
fucking have
never
a
had a
threesome here.
threesome.
All right. Like knock it off.
No,
You're
no,
not the
no,
only
no,
one.
no.
Moving on.
No, I'm
okay.
saying,
Yes.
I'm saying.
Great. So like there's the societal expectations that we place on individuals as to what is acceptable, what is acceptable within a relationship, and what we can ask of each other, right? These things aren't equal. And to say,
don't
and to
have
say
to
like,
be.
oh yeah, like well, we want to explore having another person with us in the bedroom, right? But I mean, of course, it's going to be with another woman, right? I mean, it's obvious, right? Like these two things aren't equal in weight.
They don't have to be equal. All that matters is your comfortability level.
Has
No,
to
no,
be
no,
equal.
no. That
It has
that's
to be
not.
equal.
That's
They
not
don't
all
have
that
to
ma-
be equal.
so you
That doesn't-
only have sex to be comfortable? Is that what you're saying?
People don't
No.
have. Yeah. The
That's not
answer
what I
is
said.
no.
So okay,
said the
then
bare
there's
minimum-
more than comfortability that
No, I said
factors
that's
into
the
that.
bare minimum. That's what I said. I said the bare minimum. That's obviously what I'm saying. The bare minimum.
That's not
in
what
order
you
for
said
you,
earlier.
and the bare
People have
minimum
sex
in
for
order
all
for
kinds of
the
reasons.
bare minimum in order for a party of two people to have a consensual sex and at least enjoy it or be okay with it is the comfortability level.
Sure,
If
but
you
there's
are-
but that
and the threshold to not doing a sexual act is uncomfortability. So if a man is not uncomfortable, if a man is uncomfortable with said act, don't do that act. If a woman is uncomfortable with said act, don't do it. It's that simple. It doesn't matter what the balance is. A woman can be way more comfortable do way more things than sexually. And if I'm not comfortable with that thing, I don't have to do it. And nor should I be pressured to do that.
we're
I'm not
we're
comfortable
talking
with
about we're
BDSM.
not talking about the individual. We're saying that there's societal reasons for why. I know that the reason I'm uncomfortable
cares?
with the concept of a man. That's the conversation. I don't know that the reason
matter.
why I'm uncomfortable with the concept of doing sexual acts related to a man is because of homophobia. Now
I
I
disagree.
generally, but it's
I'm super
absolutely because of
territorial.
no, it's because of homophobia. It's like if you found out tomorrow that women preferred not just like but women were dating and preferred men who were like bisexual or more like who are bisexual or who are doing things with men, and this was their preference, like it wouldn't happen immediately. We wouldn't see men turn over tomorrow, but we would see a generational curve over the next few years of men who are a lot more comfortable doing things with men. Like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. Like you afraid to kiss a man? This is what gets the girls. Like that. We're all
That's
the only
you, bro.
reason why. I know
I
it's
disagree.
hard to think past this individual thing, but girls aren't naturally more comfortable with more interested in other girls. It's because it's not socially stigmatized, and it's actually kind of seen as cool if a girl's willing to do something with other girls. So girls are more open to the idea. Men are stigmatized from having these ideas due to homophobia, and we think that we're just naturally made this way. Like, nah, I just don't like guys. Like,
I don't
no, there's
think-
a reason why you don't like them. It's because of
Bro,
homophobia.
I'm not homophobic, but I'm not attracted
It's
to
not
men.
about you being homophobic.
swear,
It's about
but I'm telling you why.
It's-
But society has influenced me to do many things, and I've rejected that influence many times. This
You
is what,
haven't.
but that's
You are a
you.
product.
hold on. I'm telling
are
you
a
about my,
product of society.
of course, and I'm saying many things. I didn't say all things. I have not
Is that
rejected
a Black
all.
Lantern shirt?
I have not rejected. No, it's not. I have not rejected all of
White
socialization,
I can
because
see
some
why.
of socialization is a good thing.
White Lantern
We've talked
Power
about
Ranger.
this last week. But my point is this: it could be the case that you're not comfortable with having sex with another man, and I'm not saying I'm having a threesome with another man. Let's be more specific. It's because, like for my instance, I'm not comfortable being naked in the same room as another man, even in a
Yes.
locker room, and it
It's
has nothing to do with homophobia.
It
I just don't
does.
like. No, it's not.
It's not. It's not. When I say homophobia, I don't mean it's because you don't like gay people. I'm talking about a societal culture of the way that we treat men in masculinity and like homophobia. There's a lot of
societal,
root.
No,
It is societal.
Could it not be
No,
the
it's
case that
not.
I don't like the naked male body? Is that not possible?
Are you
How's that
comfortable in
homophobic?
your
What are
own
we
body?
talking about right
Yes,
now?
I like my personal male body.
Okay.
I do not like external male bodies. I don't like my dad's. I don't like my brother's. I don't like anybody that's a male
You
other
don't
than
even have
myself
to like it
sexually.
though. But you don't even
But-
have to like their
And
body.
because I don't like it, I can't get hard if they're in the same room.
Interesting.
Is that
Yeah,
not a
well,
plausible idea?
I
Is
think
that
you- I don't-
outside of the realm of possibility?
I don't
that
think
it
you've
has
dug
to
deep
be.
enough.
No, but I'm asking you the question. Is it not plausible that it could be simple as this? Or
so-
is it necessarily
everything-
Okay,
homophobic?
so
No,
here's
Let
the
him
issue.
answer the question.
Here-
Let him answer the question.
For
Is
an
it
individual-
necessarily homophobic?
No, it's not
I'm
about
asking-
you. It's not about you
I'm
being a
asking
person.
you to answer the
I'm
question.
answering
Is
the
it-
question. I'm answering
Is
you
it
the question.
necessarily homophobic? Yes.
Now, yes, but so just be quiet for a second. It's not about you as an individual. Again, it's not about you as an individual. But if we see this trend over and over again, particularly with men in a way that's different from women, like it's not like, yes, there's gonna be individuals that find things uncomfortable, but the roots for that, when we see over a large number of people, seems to be
I do-
homophobia
Let me
in
say
their
it
culture.
more succinctly for you, right?
You're
Like
insane,
if things were perfectly balanced in our society, if we aren't seeing any unnatural external pressures, then we could expect that men and women would be willing to participate in these things in equal, in more or less an equal amount, right? That you
No.
would. That across a large population, as our friend Bam was saying, that of people who are into doing threesomes, right? That you would see almost as much two girls, one guy as two guys, one girl. You'd see that, right? But there's drastically less. There was drastically less. There was a social pressure putting that's being put on one end of the spectrum, right? And
And the
call it
reason
whatever you
doesn't
want.
always
let him
have to be
finish.
homophobia. That's all I'm saying. Like it's
Huh?
a logical.
But what the
Sorry,
question
what'd you
comes
say?
down to,
I'm not saying it's not
is-
homophobia. I'm saying
I didn't say it was completely homophobia.
I'm saying that's what Bam is saying.
I'm saying the root
Yeah.
of it is, and I'm not
No,
speaking for
that-
each individual person.
Okay, so
The
Pace
question
go,
comes
and then we'll
down
go
to,
to Joe. I want to hear what he has to say. Pace.
the question comes down to is who is getting the pressure? Is it the man or is it the woman? Because the fact is that the natural state of events in human history and human beings in general is heterosexuality. That's just the natural state of the world. If a person is unattracted to the same sex, that's not homophobia. That's just nature. But in the same venue where you have women that seem to be more open to the idea, or at least more pressured to the idea, that's their personal decision. I mean, when you're talking about
Not personal.
things like this, and it is personal. Who's making the decision for her other than herself?
Culture. Homosexuality dates back to the dawn
No,
of
You can reject
civilization.
culture,
No.
bro. Nobody
Who
makes you.
who
Nobody
who
forces you
is
culture as
who
an
is
insane
who
adult.
is making her do the act? Who is making her agree to do the act? Is it culture or is it herself? Are people individuals or are people cultures?
Society
Do people
has
have
an effect on
Nobody.
individuals, right? You
Yeah.
you understand this,
You can
right?
have.
no?
You can be
Soci-
influenced. You can
society
have something can
society
influence you, but you can reject that influence.
Yeah,
No,
after
you
you
the-
can,
don't get to-
or
you
you
don't
might
get to-
not.
Yeah.
Exactly, and
Society-
you not
But you don't get to
rejecting it. It's
choose
your choice.
You know, you don't
Where
Oh,
have
oh
you-
my God, dude! Do you not understand what an
As an
influence
adult,
is?
maybe
Do you
not
not
as a
understand what
kid.
an influence is? An influence is
Where
something
has
that can
society-
have an effect on you, right? Actually, it can have an effect on you whether you reject it or not, right? You can reject something and still have guilt. You're like, okay, I'm going to engage in sexual debauchery, but I'm still going to be feel guilty on it because society says that I shouldn't be doing these things. I shouldn't be liking these things. I did it, but like it still had a fucking effect on me. Right?
These
So,
things aren't
like,
conscious
okay, cool.
decisions.
yeah,
And
to
I'm
say
saying
that,
it's not
like to
about-
say that, like you
it's
can
not about
reject it, and you're so society has no fucking influence on you at that
That's
point.
not what I
Obviously,
said,
right?
bro.
No,
Listen to
yeah,
what I'm
okay,
saying.
all right. Then we've already established that you can be influenced by society, and
You can
society
reject the bad
in that
influences of
moment. In
society.
that moment, you're making that decision. It's not just you in that room. It's not just you and your partner. It's you and your teachers and your parents and
who else is
and
in
and,
there?
and everyone else you feel is
Those-
judging you
those
and
people-
who's taught you that like there is a choice here and there's a right choice, there's a wrong choice. All those people are
choice-
involved in that decision in that moment as well. Will they
The choice
whether
comes
they
down
win
to
or
what
you
you-
win
what
it
you
is
decide
it's
to
a
do.
struggle every time.
Absolutely.
That's what it comes down to. It comes
But
down
it's
to what
your
you
choice.
decide to do. It comes down to what she decides to do. If you don't want to have a threesome where men are involved, don't have one. If you don't want to have a threesome where women are involved, don't have one. It's your choice. If you, as I said in my open with this, if you are consenting individuals, consenting adults, consenting individuals being the key word, that you're an individual, that means you are individually deciding that this is what I want to do. And are you okay with it? If you are, let's do it. Now, I mean, case in point aside, I've done everything sexually that I've wanted to do in my lifetime. I've done all of that crap. But when I did all of that garbage, I was single. I didn't have to consult with somebody else to make sure that it was okay for me to do those types of things. So if you're in a relationship with somebody and they are not okay with it, well, first of all, in my honest opinion, it is the greatest level of disrespect and disloyalty to be asked to have any type of relationship like that. If I'm in a committed relationship with somebody,
Here's the
If-
kill
if,
shot.
Oh, wait, no, let me get this. Let me get this.
I got
Let me get
I want
this.
to get the kill
No.
shot for him.
If-
But there's one question. So, are you saying that the LGBT community, are nothing? They're not doing anything to influence children in schools and media and television.
Man, that was weak.
this isn't about schools or
No, wait a
influencing
minute. No,
television.
you're saying that
This isn't about
there's
that.
just
Are-
you're just
are
you
you-
in the room.
are you
Nobody
telling me-
no one influenced you.
No,
Answer
wait,
that
wait a
question.
second. Are you telling me that LGBT people are out here trying to convince children to have threesomes? Because
No,
that's what
I'm
this
not talking about.
conversation is
No, wait a minute.
Can I-
Look,
can I-
again, I answer this question. Are you saying
LGBT people?
are they're having no
LGBT
influence
people.
on children in regards to media school? LGBT people aren't doing anything, or what? That's what you're gonna.
LGBTQ people, they have an influence on if a person is going to be more willing to accept themselves if they decide that they want to be gay. I mean, they have an influence. I mean, people can say that they're grooming. I mean, you could say that, but the fact is the biggest thing is once they turn 18, who gives a fuck what they choose to what they are? That's who they are. They're 18. Let them make their decision at that age. Who gives a fuck
Okay.
about that?
So
But
that
when
was a
they're
real
once
trick
they're-
question.
Let's
No,
go
no,
to
no,
before
let's
you
go
go.
to no, let's go to Joe and then you Popo.
Okay.
I think it's reasonable to assume or believe that our socialization kind of influences our sexuality, and sometimes certain levels of socialization are kind of rigid, so it doesn't allow for like the full expression of our sexuality. And then what happens is that we might have very internalized biases towards like male bodies, the male anatomy, and stuff like that. And I don't, and like, there's a lot to blame there. But I think it's something to recognize at least, right? Like, maybe the the socialization that we are under is preventing us from having like a wider sexual expression. No,
think that a straight male not liking a straight male body is akin to a gay male not liking a woman's body. You know what I'm
But-
saying? Like, it just makes logical sense. If a
Before we
I
go
would
on
never
this-
say anything to a gay man that says I hate pussy. I don't like
Wait,
vaginas. I don't want to be
can I-
with the naked
That's-
woman. It
Oh
makes
my
sense.
god, how are
I-
you still
can I-
lost?
So
Wait, can I? He's
Joe,
so
Joe,
lost.
hold on,
but-
Joe.
Oh, y'all say I'm lost? How, bro? It makes logical
Joe.
sense.
Yeah, you
I
want
mean,
to say something?
no, just like
Wait,
I-
can I?
I think
oh,
that-
sorry, my headset is
I think that's
Can
like a thing, right? Where like we can understand that our socialization leads us to believe these certain things. I don't necessarily think it's fair to compare what society has deemed abnormal sexualities to what's deemed to be the norm. Because I think somebody who is gay saying they don't like female bodies is very different than somebody who is straight and says they don't like just male bodies. I think we can understand that there might be a
How is
distinction
that
there.
any different? How is that any
What?
different?
Most gay men aren't even like grossed out by female bodies. Like there's not. That's
Whoa,
not.
whoa, whoa,
There is
whoa,
no-
whoa,
there's
whoa,
no-
Hold on.
That aside,
I'll try and say it again. I think we can understand that there might be a societal difference if a straight man says they don't like male bodies, and a gay individual, whether it be male or female, just says they don't like male bodies. I think there's a difference between those two.
So what
Like,
you are
it's
saying
definitely
is that
societal
gays-
difference.
It could be a difference.
what you're
And I'm
saying
sure
is that
there are,
gays
but
are
it's
allowed to
not
have
necessarily
preferences.
true that there is.
Wait, before we
What you're
address
saying
his,
is that gays are
Joe,
allowed to have preferences,
sorry,
but
go
straights
ahead.
are not.
no. Let me
Go ahead,
address
Lobo.
Pace's thing first. I just want to address what Pace says before. Okay, so and then we'll jump back. Super simple. So I'm in the camp of if you're doing anything with your partner, you try to be as open as possible. You have a very detailed conversation. As time progresses, you do that. Pace, you're literally one of the reasons why there's kind of a stigmatism against it, because you just literally said if this person even mentions something you don't like, you'll step away, which puts fear. And this, I can definitely
It's
tell
not
you
about
that's
fear. It's about if I'm in a committed relationship with somebody, I have chosen that you are the one person that I want to be with, and you come to me with the
Mhm.
question that you want to bring somebody else into my bed, get the fuck out.
No,
If I
but so-
wanted
so-
if I wanted to sleep around with more than one person, I wouldn't be dating you. That's how I that's how I look
But,
into
but
it.
here's the thing: you're assuming they can read your mind. If they're coming with
Oh
the idea
no,
that
I'm not assuming that they read my mind. They know my mind because I chose to date them.
no,
If I
people-
didn't, if I wanted to sleep around with more than one person, I would not be in a committed relationship.
But it's
You're
people in
literally
committed
descri-
relationships
you're
that do that.
describing-
Another thing
Let
I'm
help
kind
us
of
out. My bad.
Yeah. So no. Let me see. So no matter how you're wording this, unless you have a conversation, it is mind reading. Unless it's been pre-established, like, hey, at the end of the day, if you're in a relationship with someone, it needs to be a safe environment for both of you to openly communicate and grow. Like, it has to be that way. And if you're shutting off, I understand you can say, hey, I don't want to talk about anything extremely sexual. That's the bar.
No, it's not
Really-
about talking about extremely sexual stuff. You can have as much sexual conversation as you want to, but
But
the
you're
moment
turning
you
off
decide,
one.
no, I'm not turning off one. I'm telling the individual that I'm dating that the moment you decide to insult me and insult my honor by saying that you want to have somebody else in my bed and have sex with the both of us,
Okay.
that tells me that I am not good enough for you and I no longer need you. So go find somebody else that will agree to do that with you, but it won't be me.
Which is fine. Now, so you will have the conversation. Just to let you know, you won't even get to that conversation because by your logic, if they even bring it up, they're gone. So you can't
Yes,
even
they
use it.
would be because that conversation, the moment you bring up the conversation, the moment let's say we're just sitting
So they
in
should
bed.
be gone by their logic. The moment you bring up the same conversation, say you're not willing to, they should be gone too because you even brought up the conversation.
Yes, they should be because the fact is it would never come out of my mouth that I would ever
Then how are they
question
supposed
ask
to
that.
know?
If they ask me that question,
There, you're
then
gone.
that question signifies to me, oh, I'm not good enough. You want something else. Go be with those people because it's not
Just
working for the two of us.
well,
So
all right,
go.
all right. So
Be
here's
gone.
all right. I'll
Be
get a little
gone
bit
from
more.
my sight and don't come
That's
back.
fine. So let's get a little bit more deeper on this. The premise of you thinking you're not good enough has only to do with you. Has nothing to do with them. Has nothing to do with
No,
them.
it has everything to do with the fact that they decided that they would rather get more enjoyment out of having two dicks at the same time than just one. And what that means is that my one dick is not good enough. So bye. See you
Aw.
next time.
Okay, well, but that's what I'm saying.
So yeah.
You are not creating as I said. At the end of the day,
I don't
this
have
per-
to. It's my preference. See,
it is your preference. They have no idea what your preference is. That's
They
the
don't. They know what my preference is because I chose to date them. As I
Okay.
said before, when I was doing felonious sexual activity, I was single. I could do whatever I
Alright.
wanted to. I could fuck as many people at the same time as I wanted to because I didn't have a commitment to
Alright,
somebody else.
let's use something
You're,
simple.
you're
Let's use
such a
something super
Chad
simple.
that like you could.
No.
I want to have as much sex
No,
as
so
I
I'll
want,
use something
and I
super
don't just
simple.
have it.
I'll destroy this argument. This is because I don't think you realize you're making no sense. So let's say you date a girl,
What's
right?
not making sense?
No, that's what I'm gonna use. I'm using the simplest argument. You date a girl, right? And you want to have sex with her. You're not allowed to bring that topic up.
If I want to have sex with her, I'm going to have to ask her eventually. Otherwise, it's rape.
No. You can't bring it up. Same way she can't bring up topic about anything else. It is not a safe environment for you to bring it up. Period.
If you want to have
Because you
sex
knew-
with her, you have to bring it up.
Mm-mm,
Otherwise,
mm-mm.
it's rape.
When you
But you
started dating
disrespected
her,
her innocence.
yeah, when you dated her, you should have knew she doesn't want to have sex already. You shouldn't have to ask.
That's
We
not
don't
how
talk
sexual
about
relationships work.
No.
If you want to have sex with somebody, you have to get consent to have sex with them. Otherwise, you're raping
Sure, but it was
them.
disrespectful for you to even bring it up because they wanted to wait till
Exactly.
marriage.
If we're
You should have
dating,
known better.
if we're dating together, and she says that, oh, I want to wait until marriage. If I ask her, hey,
You will never get to that conversation.
You shouldn't have had that. You should have just
can we
knew.
have sex?
You should have just
Can we
knew.
have sex? No, it's not about can you just know. It's about the fact is that if you're
You should
dating
have known when
somebody,
she chose to
Yes, you
start
should know
doing
when you're
marriage.
supposed to date you.
if you're dating somebody and you are in a committed relationship with them,
This is actually great.
after a while,
You guys
sex
are not getting his argument. It's really annoying. Like he's saying
sex
that.
I know what he's saying. He's saying. What he
No,
said
no,
I
was
know what
wrong.
he's
It's
saying.
but it's a huge difference. But what with the
Okay,
and
okay.
the analogy that let me
Drew
tell you the
explain. Drew
difference.
explain.
It's a
Drew
easy.
ex-
It's a huge difference. They don't make each other analogous. You're saying, oh, but if you ask that to have sex with her and she wants to wait for marriage, then that's the same as if she were to ask for a threesome. The difference is you don't know if somebody wants to wait for marriage until they speak, but you are implying that you want to be only with one person when you enter a monogamous relationship.
No, because people in monogamous relationships do threesomes.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm saying
people in monogamous relationships do not do threesomes. People
That
in
is-
polyamorous relationships do threesomes. You don't
No.
invite somebody into your household to have sex if you are monogamous. Having more than one person is poly. Mono means one.
No, I'm only in a relationship with one person. That doesn't mean I
Right.
can't have sex with another person.
You're
I'm in a
monogamous-
monogamous relationship.
If you're in a
doesn't mean
monogamous
I'm-
relationship and you want to have sex with more than one person, you are not monogamous.
That is
You're
a
poly-
sexual
The number of
relationship.
people I'm in a relationship with didn't change. I'm only in,
Sexual relations is still a relationship.
no,
You don't have-
monogamous.
but we're talking about romantic.
No. Monogamous is not just romantic. It says involving marriage to one person at a time, having a sexual relationship with only one partner at a time, having only
Exactly.
one mate at a time. That's the definition.
were
You
of
have
one
the root
partner
of the
at a
word,
time.
mono.
Like I
Mono
don't.
means
What definition is that? Nobody uses monogamous.
literally
that way.
Google. I literally Googled it, and that's like the
Well,
God.
then
I
Google can be
The
wrong. on that
difference
one.
here is
Okay.
definitions aren't wrong, bro.
He's
but-
not willing to have a conversation about it, and he's gonna banish his partner just for bringing up a topic.
No,
he
I
might
wouldn't.
not be
That's-
comfortable
that's
with.
Well,
also-
yeah, but are we talking about
That's
time
not
or are we
fantasy.
talking
I'm
about
telling
just
you
like a
it's over.
one-off?
I-
Like what's the
He's
sitch
just
here?
he's saying he's not. If you bring it up in general, you should already know that I'm dating you. Don't bring this
If you
topic
bring
up.
it up, if you bring it up,
He's
in
gonna
general
banish
today,
you.
You
Let's
are
go Golden
insulting.
State.
You are
I am
insulting.
in I'm in the
You are
camp
telling
of
me that I am not good enough for you.
If you want to
So
believe
that's-
that,
if
hold
that
on,
is
that
the
hey,
case,
the
it's
if
not
that is the
harming
case,
anyone from believing that. Hold on.
if that is the case, then you should date somebody or be with somebody that expresses the same value. My
Okay,
value is that
But
I've
wouldn't
chosen to date one person and one person only. And when you decide to bring somebody else into the relationship, then that means that I am not enough for you. You need more than one person, which means we're not going to work. So
couldn't it be
that's
seen as
that's
even
a
more
bad
insulting
no.
that you would
that's
want
an
to have sex,
internalized
that you
thing.
would want
That's
to
his
have like
perspective.
devious like premarital sex? Couldn't that be seen as even more insulting? That you
No,
would
because
even
you did not
bring it up?
know. Kid
No,
had no
because
way
if
of knowing.
Can I hit
No.
this again? Wait, no. So
You have no way
saying
of knowing in either case.
no, no.
No,
So
that's
if
not
you are
true. The implication exists in one where it doesn't exist in the other.
There is no
Okay.
implication.
In a
Okay, hold on.
monogamous
So,
relationship, the
I
implication
want
is
to.
you have
I want to
one
bring
partner at a
Joe.
time.
Joe, you were saying something previously, and we got
Yeah.
lost in this.
Yeah,
thing.
I was saying 79, 92 Warriors.
Okay.
No, I guess like what I was trying to get at is that I think that like in society, and it's gonna go back really far. I'm sorry, but
hello.
I think that like the socialization that's around being cis and heterosexual is pretty intense. Like I think it's intense so much so that men it's possible that men have like really weird relationships not only with their body but with other male bodies. Something that I don't necessarily think we see manifest in the same way that it does for women. But again, I'm a dude, so I could be wrong there. But and I think that might have an influence in our likelihood to accept a threesome that would be a threesome with two men if a partner were requested.
It's also super common. It's really hard for like women admit to this daily. They're like, oh yeah, I wouldn't feel super comfortable like dating a bi guy, and they can say in the nicest way, and they mean it, but it's due to socialization. So if that's the case, then you're gonna have less bi guys in general. Like people
Yeah,
who are bi aren't gonna aren't gonna be open about it, and people who may have considered the idea when they were young don't want to be cast out. Like people who, well, first of all, and again, this
Well, I
is
mean,
just
like there are
going.
people who like unironically believe like, well, if you suck dick, you're gay. Like it doesn't matter if you're bi, you suck some dick, you're gay. And it's like I don't think
that is
like
true though.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like and it's like in society that never works out like that, where it's like I drink Coke and Pepsi, but you're just a Pepsi drinker. And it's like what? No, it's like you can like two things and not be like put in this sort of like weird box. But again, that comes
Or a
with,
girl
like,
sticking a finger up your butt. It can
or
be a
even
girl
that,
doing it.
like, or even just like the idea of like of anal anything. Like there are some men that like I've been in conversation about this where it's like I don't want anything near there at all. I don't want. It's like I mean, okay. I don't know why it to be so like. I guess the
Aggro
point.
about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like in
Aggro.
all the spaces I've been, it's always really aggro
maybe some
about.
people just don't want shit on their dick.
I mean, this is
You
very.
have to be
this is
mad
true.
about that? You can
No,
say
but,
that in a
like,
calm manner.
That's
like
why
what
you
what
need
I
to,
have is like
You mess with
it's like
girls that
when
don't wipe
people
good.
like let me give you an example. It's like when we talk about certain like say movies, right? There's I guess an expectation that the conversation isn't going to get heated unless you're talking about Morbius, which is the best film of all time. But outside of that, it never gets like overly intense. Like someone could just say something where it's like, and I'm gonna do this like in a sexual example, right? Like they'll say something where it's like, yeah, just anal's not my thing, and it's like, okay, like totally normal, like and like there's no like sort of question of elaboration. But then there are some spaces I've been in where like people are really aggressive about like no butt stuff. It's like I don't want to put a finger over there, and it's like, okay, and then there's like that like additional information that you don't need, where it'll be something where it's like, I would never fuck a guy, and it's like, okay. It's like just dicks are weird, bro. And it's like I didn't ask, but okay.
I've had this exact conversation with my girlfriend. Like I've literally said that. Like I've said this to multiple girls. Like I was like, I don't do stuff. I don't do anything. I don't do butt stuff. Like her butt, sure, not my butt. And the reason isn't because, oh, bro, that's gay. The reason is like, what happens if I like it? What like that and we don't work out? No, that's what I'm saying. Like you can never ask a random person that. Of course you can fit literally, but you can't. You can't just ask the next girl like, hey, How do you
See,
feel
and I
about
think
a
that's the stigma.
finger? Yeah,
I
it's the
think that's
stigma.
the-
It's homophobic.
No, 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 no.
100%.
The stigma is
Let's-
literally for
let's
some
ask
weird
your
reason.
My
girlfriend
girl
on-
coming in talking about butt
Okay.
stuff.
Well, the stigma. I think. I think.
I gotta be quiet,
I think
y'all.
what Bam. I think Bam. I think it might be talking about is that there's a, and this is gonna sound really weird. I don't think it's gonna sound weird because I think we've all experienced somebody who shares this opinion, where like anything that's butt stuff, if you enjoy it, that's gay. Like just
No, it's
straight
not
up.
even that. It's not even that. There's like multiple times everyone's like there's a stigma for some weird reason. A very intimate act. No one's being like honest with each other. There's a barriers. Like you're supposed to be open with your partner.
Yeah,
Like,
and
it's
it's
a-
like, then why did God make that thing for men up there if they didn't want you to like figure that out? It's like kind of unfair if you ask
Well,
me.
no, it's not
I think
specific to
evolution needs
that.
to like move that to a different spot. You know, I don't know.
Well, no,
Move
it's
in
not
the
even
mouth,
about
I guess,
specific.
I don't know.
It's not about specific that. As I said, it's just more about being open with your partner. Because the end of the day, if you can't actually talk to your partner about this stuff in general, that means you don't feel safe with them.
Right.
So you have to
but, like,
create
but
that. You have to
again,
create
like,
that environment in general
yeah.
about anything.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. But then there's just like the stigma to it, right? Where it's like there, because I've had like again, like I've been in these like situations where I've just had like my friends say weird shit about butt stuff, and then it just evolves in these weird routes of like if my man ever wanted me to do anything in my butt, I'd dump him, and it's like
Well, no, I'm not. I'm not
Okay.
talking about that specific.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
Yeah,
in
I
general
know what you
because
mean.
there's multiple topics out like so threesomes. You can talk about that.
Sure.
Even polyamory as a whole. Being able to like, if you're with your partner, you should be able to eventually work up to these topics. 'cause you
Yeah,
should be
yeah. We got,
comfortable.
yeah,
Yeah,
come
that's
on.
that's what I'm saying. But
Yeah,
I-
sure,
and then, like,
sure.
and that ties into the idea of like threesomes, like not in totality, but just like back to the thing with threesomes, right? Where it's like I think that for some people, it sounds like it's like, you know, like we gotta have the conversation like about it. I just want the conversation in the like the full totality of to understand like what your partner like the I don't want to say extremes in like a pejorative, but like the extremes that your partner might want to. Like for example, like I watch a lot of movies, and like something that my girlfriend is like figuring out the hard way is that if a movie is coming out, I'm gonna go see it. And then like that kind of makes her upset because he's like I want to see it together like as an experience for the both of us. And then it's like, okay, if that's true, then I have to like adjust my interfacing with this thing in order to make sure that we can both like experience things together in an enjoyable way. Because she's very hardline about like if I've seen it, she doesn't want to see it because she wants to see something like the two of us experiencing something together that's brand new. Does that make sense? Does that make any fucking sense? I don't know if it's.
No, you
so
just
on,
described my
I
relationship.
To me, it
wanna,
does.
what you
Yeah,
first
like-
said.
To another woman,
Joe.
it does.
Oh man. So but what you first said, Joe, talking about like that reaction, where like yeah, we're talking about butt stuff. I don't want anything with our butt, right? Like, that's like don't put anything there. I'm not into guys, right? What you're talking to a woman and she wants to do something with your butt. Well, what does that have to do with a guy? No one brought up a guy, right? Then we saw this happen. We saw this play out earlier in this conversation. I specifically said, hey, you could have a threesome and you don't even have to touch the guy, right? Like the entire time, don't touch him, right? And then the team reacts, like, I wouldn't have sex with guys. No one said you had to have sex with guys. We've already
I was talking
defined
about
this.
a different situation, bro.
No,
Oh
we
my
were
God,
talking
bro.
about this situation.
I
we
was
were talking
talking about a different situation. I'm allowed to address something
yeah.
that you didn't say specifically right before I said it.
it seems, but like and it wasn't just that one time. It wasn't just that one time. Your reaction to this whole thing has been the exact same. You're freaking
Yes,
out
I'm not
oh,
comfortable.
Excuse me.
And I
Yeah.
explained to you why. It wasn't because I don't want to have sex with another guy. It's like I'm not comfortable being naked in the same room as another guy.
but I'm
the lights
talking
are
about the
off.
vocabulary that you brought out. I'm talking about that. Like, what words did you use to choose to express that? Right now, and I'm not saying
What did I
that you
say?
have to. I'm not saying that you need to be forced to. I'm saying
What
that
did I
there's
say?
clear societal influence working here, whether you want to admit that or not. And I'm just and that plays out in individual relationships across the world. when they
just
were
said
having this
everything. That's funny.
conversation, right? When they're like bringing it up, right? Or even just fucking fantasizing about it. Like, hey, let's fantasize about it. And in my fantasy, me being a girlfriend, right? And in my fantasy, I want two guys. Let's role play that. No, that's too weird. I don't want to do that, right? Let's make it two girls and one guy, right? Like, because no matter what, this influence, like the ideas, what we find sexy aren't our own. They aren't individual acts. These things are constructed, and this is where you see that happen, where it plays out, and these fault lines.
Yeah, just the type of sex we have, even in today's society, is like different. Like, realistically, your granddaddy
Wait,
probably
there's
wasn't
other
eating booty.
positions?
Exactly.
I thought there's only one.
Yeah, just the wheelbarrow. that's
Just-
that's the only one.
Wait,
Your
that
granddaddy
actually
used to
is a
wheelbarrow your grandma around the
The
room.
wheel. What the fuck is the wheel? I'm asking the wrong questions.
You know-
Keep going.
But no, like, yeah, the types of sex we have, the things we have normalized. Like,
Mhm.
if the reality is, like, more or less, I mean, maybe some girls don't. It's cool if you don't, but most girls suck dick now. Or a lot of, if you like, you suck dick.
We
A
gotta
lot
get
of people-
Brookings on that. We gotta get the study out.
Yeah, we do need that
No.
study. But it used to be
That's
pressing
That's-
used to
issue.
be highly stigmatized. That wasn't a
The
thing.
facts are
Yeah,
against
that's
you
just
with
like-
this one. The facts are against you with this one. We already have data from the Etruscans,
We
which
got the
was
dick
over,
sucking data.
which is over,
We got data
which
on
is
dick sucking?
over 7,000 years ago. The Etruscan Empire, they were an empire of people that were they were so over sexual that when the Romans came to invade Etrusca, they were shocked at just how they were just having open orgies out in the streets. That was how sexual these people were. Ancient Egypt, there are literal catacombs where there's literal Egyptian porn on the walls.
I'm not
10,000
disagreeing with any
years.
of this.
So,
I'm not. I
I
said the
mean-
type of sex is shaped by
No,
culture.
the type
But you're actually
the type of
agreeing
sex
with.
is- the type
Well,
of sex has
even-
never changed. It's always
Well,
been the same. I'm saying that the
we
same
can
sex that we
say-
have today, they had then. The only difference is today is that we seem to be in this second Etrusca where nobody is ashamed of having open and obvious sex out in public domain, well, just like it was back in Etrusca. Whereas
That's legal.
after that period
Etrusca
of
may have had a culture that was sexually open. I'm saying
After
it's
that
very
period of
shaped by the
time-
culture.
But we're not
well-
even. I mean, I don't know. Okay, can I make a hypothetical?
Quakers
Like,
wasn't
just
eating booty.
Oh god, I know.
It was
I know,
eating grits.
I know. I say, oh god.
And oatmeal.
Oh, it's just like eating. I would imagine.
all booty.
My
I
man,
imagine
down.
it's kind of like no, it's kind of like it's like high pulp orange juice, that's like kind of frozen, and I'm getting a little gross there. All right, so like okay,
I don't understand. the
I know-
analogy.
I want to understand.
it's okay, it's okay. Once you realize it, it gets really gross. I know some people don't fuck with hypotheticals.
You're
but
gonna
hear
make
out.
me choose. You're gonna make me change my preference for high pulp orange juice.
no, oh lord.
Joe.
So hypothetically speaking, if you have a window in your room that is open, like blinds are completely open, and you know definitively that there's no one out there, but there's a possibility that someone might look at the window, would you shut it during a sex act?
Yes, and I think that's most. I think that's most people. Most people are
I'm
not
kinda chaotic
comfortable.
then. Okay.
Or most people are not comfortable walking outside to the beach butt naked, even though there are nudist beaches. Most people would not go to those types of events. So in general, most people are just more reserved about who they want to be naked in front of. I know for
Sure.
a fact, like myself, I do. Hell, my mother, she see me naked when I was born, but I would not stand naked in front of her. I won't stand naked in front of anybody that I'm not sleeping next to. It's
But
just
do you
like-
understand there's
don't
cultures of
want
people
anyone
that
to
walk
see my
around
lady.
naked?
Like even,
yes,
like,
those are
there's
called nudists. But those
not-
people
not-
make
Well,
up the
like even there's people like there's one thing that when I was in college, one of my old roommate told me about like his super chaotic first roommate who would have sex with the door open. Like it wasn't like
Well, I know people who do that.
was
But
just-
people
it was yeah, go for it, sir.
people do that, but those people represent a vast minority of society. Most people would prefer to not be naked in front of people that they are not bedding with. That's just most people. Most people would prefer not to walk around naked in their own house if there's somebody else in the house that would see them other than their lover. Most people will not walk around naked in their house and go to the door and let the mailman come inside. Most people would put clothes on before they come to the door, or at least put a robe on and tie it shut. Most people would do that because of a general respect for other people. And some people just aren't comfortable undressing in front of people. I spent my entire high school and college years in the gym, and never once did I take my clothes off in the locker. I
Well,
always wore
yeah.
my gym clothes underneath my clothes while everybody else is undressing. All I had to do was take my pants off, take my shirt off. I'm in my gym uniform. It's right there. And when I get ready to go to the next class, I have a different shirt up in my locker. Grab it, go to the bathroom, put it on, and then put the rest of my clothes back on.
Right,
You
but
see
then
all
we
these
also,
extra
we also
steps
have
when you could have
we
just
also
been
have
dick
Charlie
swinging?
Roses though, right? Like Charlie Rose just answered his door, just
That's
like
what I did.
bathrobe open.
Yeah, Charlie Rose
Wait,
is not the
speaking-
is not the majority of people.
Listen,
I mean, this is
Listen.
true. He is an old white guy, and there are minorities in this
Speaking-
country. So.
Just
Speaking on
like Hugh
closing that
Hefner is
window-
the majority of people. We would all love to be Hugh Hefner.
listen.
He's
Speaking on
dead,
closing,
I don't think
no.
you would.
Yeah.
I think you
But
made
he
it.
What
died
is
at
speaking-
I mean, he's like
he
kinda
died at
dead.
old age.
I say, speaking on closing that window, I'm not closing that window for me. I'm closing that window because like that's my lady bits. Those are mine. Get out of here, everyone else. That's why I'm closing
Right, but
that
like
window.
even in because like I guess like the reason why I asked that is because like I've been
The
in
potential of
situations.
children walking around too. I mean, like for me,
Sure.
for instance, if I open my window, the school's right
There's one
across the
person in
street.
there.
But like say okay, same question, but let's say you're like in a high rise building. Let's say you're in a hotel, like top floor. Like you'll like go like would you shut it in that situation?
Yeah, because you never know if the scaffolding guy's out there cleaning the windows.
Wow.
This sounds like
I guess like the point I'm trying to make is like yeah, like we have like certain like faux pas about like just like how we express ourselves in society, you know?
I'm
Yeah,
scared.
like now,
I'm just scared.
now,
Has
if
no
I-
one
if
here
I'm
had
at
sex
home
up
in
against
my
a
own
hotel
private
window?
property.
What?
What?
I don't do
Has
that.
no one here
No,
had sex
no.
up against a hotel window?
I'm scared of
What is
heights.
this? What is this?
All right,
Russian
I'm
not
sorry,
radio?
I'm
Like,
Jake Cook, I don't. Jake Cook's always older than me.
Like,
All right,
Like, are we,
I
like, is
wanna go Jake
Climax
Cook.
playing? Is
No.
Climax by Usher playing in the
here.
background? Like,
Actually,
Uh,
no, I don't. I got
understand.
a bunch of stuff to unpack. Like I don't show my girl my back after sex. I don't like it,
Whoa.
like my butt exposed. It scares me. I don't know if like something gonna jump in there.
What?
I legit. I
Something
like
gonna
back out the
jump in.
room. I will like.
Oh,
That also represents
just
my
walk
Hey,
away.
you're like that
And we've been-
JoJo guy.
We've been
You
together.
like
Like,
that
we've been
JoJo
together
villain.
4 years, and she has never seen my back naked. I don't do it.
No.
Yeah, legit. I got some
Oh.
deep stuff
That's
unpacked.
insane. That's insane.
Mm.
Bam.
I do.
Your
It's,
girlfriend don't
it's
touch
That's
your
terrifying.
bro.
autobiography. That's like fun fact worth it.
Even if we like we take showers together, I'm like, all right, turn around. I gotta
Bam.
watch. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't like.
Hey,
Don't stand
bring
behind
your
me. naked.
girl on the
minute.
cam, bro.
Wait, she doesn't
I mean,
give you
in
back
your-
scratches?
In
Yeah, she
your
gets a back
defense,
but I'm not gonna be. I just.
But
Yeah,
not
but
bare.
naked.
He's
Yeah.
saying he has not shown his bare back.
Yeah.
in Bam's
this man's
defense,
living
we all
like-
have
And you
our
guys-
weird kinks.
You guys
And you
live
know
We all
what,
have
bro?
our
together.
weird kinks.
This
And
man
that's
is
your
white beard.
prerogative, and that's your prerogative. And if you're not comfortable showing her back, that's okay.
But I
bro.
know, but I know it's not just. I know it's rude in something. That's what I'm saying. Like you're just
Is it a
okay with
safety
saying
thing?
like,
So
oh, this is how I
sad.
feel. But it's definitely it's definitely rude in
But what?
something.
But
Is
what's
it
that
safety?
rooted?
Sure,
in?
it's rooted in
for-
something, but it
like
doesn't
for
matter what
me-
it's rooted in.
Hold
That's
on,
what
we gotta
Like-
really we gotta
like for
break this
me-
down. So we gotta break this down so Bam can tell his therapist this. Okay, so do you think it's like a security thing, like a safety thing?
Mm.
I don't know. Like legit. Like it's a sphere of like, oh my god.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
what
know.
are-
Like I
what
don't
are
know
you
what's gonna happen
afraid-
if she's back there. Something's gonna happen.
What are you
But
afraid-
not just
like-
her, as anybody.
But don't you
I-
trust
Look,
her not to do anything?
I defend you in this because I
I
have my
didn't
own
sound like a confident yes.
I defend you on this. I have my own kinks. Like for me,
This girl
I
seems
hate
spontaneous.
I hate spit. I don't like spit being anywhere near me during sexual acts, and I hate sweat.
Nah, I'm
So
with it.
if all of,
Wait,
if all of that if all of that happens, you know, I'm like, okay, you gotta go spit. Can't finish until the spit's gone. So I have my own kinks. You got your own kinks. You don't want somebody looking at your back, but I don't think that's rooted in homophobia. I don't. I don't want my I don't want them
You better not be
slobbering on
sweaty
my.
over
But let's
here.
be honest. Like,
Your
what
sweaty
is
like
that?
that.
Sweaty during
And a
sex?
one.
We're all
What?
clean.
And
We're
a
all
two.
comfortable in here. But
And a two.
girls, like, you
air
can be as
down,
open
the
as you want.
Italian
Don't breathe
Nobody
either.
wants like, none of y'all want your girl to catch you with your cheeks open, letting the water run through your butt. Even if you can be as in charge yourself, but you don't want your girl to open up the shower and catch you mid spread.
Me and my girl take shots together, bro. So
You be spreading your butt cheeks for your girl and letting
Or
the
my
water run
girl?
through.
Yeah.
Gosh,
What do
you
you mean? Hold
Or
on,
my
I
girl.
told you.
Or my
It's
girl.
crazy.
Hey, I've already said this on this panel, or I've talked to many panel. Yeah, I had a girlfriend who was into guys, into rimming guys, right? And she wanted to do it to me.
Pegging?
So yeah, I did. Did she do it to me? Yeah, she did.
You got pegged?
Well, he said
Rim.
rimming.
No, rimming, not pegged, not pegged.
Wait,
Rimming
That's
how?
mouth.
Well, with their mouth?
Mouth, yeah, licking.
Yeah.
it.
That's what rimming.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah,
What else would you?
so
hold on,
yeah,
I
feel-
want to explore this question. Like, what?
It, I'll,
what
no,
other
I'll, let
things-
me answer
Wait,
this
no, I'm
question.
like,
Hold on, Joe,
no,
I'll answer the
because-
question. I just want to answer the question. How did it feel?
Sure.
It fucking tickled, right? I was terrible at this. It was a weird sensation, and I would laugh constantly. It didn't feel bad. I just kept fucking laughing because it tickled like
I feel
nobody's
like that's a
business.
So is it something?
demoralizing
So is it something you would ever
Did you have the
request?
anal clean? You had the anal
Like,
cleaner thing?
imagine if
Listen,
like
sex is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
We're having fun.
I
So
don't
good
know.
job.
It sounds it for me. It sounds a little chaotic. Like if I was having sex and my partner just started laughing.
Laughing, yeah.
I know.
Like,
And then
I felt so
and then
bad.
I just see, and then I see the ghost of Kevin Samuels in my window. And it's like, are you gonna take this from her?
Did you have to
With
hold
his
it
little
open, or did she hold it
fucking-
for you?
What?
Did you have to
both.
hold it
Calm
open?
down.
Or did she have
Both.
to- Hey, okay. And would you request it again, like from someone else, not her?
I would. Yeah, I'd give it a try. I want to try it again and see if I get to relax. I was having trouble relaxing and accepting it. You know,
Okay, so how do you
Not
Yeah,
someone,
yeah.
not someone asking you. Would you
Sam
request it?
No, I hear you. Yeah, I said
Okay, yeah.
I would do
So
that.
you would just tell some girl like, hey, you know what? I did this before, and it was ticklish, but I want to do it again. Give it a shot.
Yeah,
Get down there.
I'd give
Get down
her.
there, champ.
She's not gonna know. The girl's not gonna want to. There's very few girls who are gonna want to put their tongue up my hairy butthole, right? So I get that. That's all right.
gotta wax my
but I'm
guy.
just saying, I'd give it a
So
try.
why don't you
that's fine.
hit her up again and have her relive that trauma, and then see if she wants to go for round two.
This is my thing. Like I said, prom
I'm
is
trying to
like
gain
my fear.
experience.
Prom is my fear.
Prom is my fear. Like I said,
Yeah,
what
that's
if- what if
right.
it was good?
That's right,
now
boy.
you did it. You did it, and now you have to live with it. And then man, if maybe you liked it, and you can ask, but you'll probably never get it again. You just ruined yourself.
I'm confused
ruined
why
it?
that's
You
a
just
fear.
ruined
You
yourself.
just never you don't even go down that lane. So now you can't miss what you never had.
You're not a virgin
Oh
anymore.
my god.
Artist.
Okay,
You
guys,
can
saying
never
this
have a
far.
girlfriend and then miss never having a girlfriend.
What?
Oh yes, you can.
I don't know what's going on. Okay, so we,
But no. He's not missing it. He's regretting not having one.
Okay, thank you, team.
Yeah, I still don't know.
Sometimes I look back
Joe-
over my life and regret ever having one.
Oh Lord,
Fair enough.
I agree,
don't
bro.
know. I don't know, man.
Yo,
They
Lewis.
are an
How is
expensive
it 111,
chore.
103? What the fuck is happening? Who called Vegas?
Joe Lewis. Concentrate. You were trying to say something.
I know. I'm trying to figure out who called Las Vegas. I don't know. I guess we definitely sound like we agree that we have different types of preferences. I'm still not necessarily sold that the preferences on or the bias towards male bodies isn't just constructed and reinforced. It just kind of feels like that's the case, where I think something that we could do is and this is I hate these things. There's a societal approach, and those are kind of hard. You can't really legislate. Stop being mean to male bodies, please. Thanks. It's just
I don't think anyone's been mean to male bodies though. I mean, look at the sports industry.
I agree.
I mean,
We should make
men
fun
are
of all.
glorified in the sports industry. As a matter of fact, it became so bad that it was unhealthy for men because we were constantly comparing ourselves to the fucking Dwayne the Rock Johnson because we couldn't, those bodies are not natural,
Okay.
and men were comparing themselves to that as the standard,
Well,
and that's
I
why.
think I think
I've
there's just a level of
I've literally
acceptance.
never heard that.
I think there's
Yeah,
a level of
there was a whole
acceptance.
study about it. There was also a study in porn industries where they said that men who watched lots of porn, they were starting to suffer from
Erectile dysfunction.
erectile dysfunction because they
I
were
read that
comparing
study.
themselves to the men with
That's
those.
not
You know,
why.
that,
That's not why.
that's not the natural state of
Wait, but hear
things.
me out. Hear
you know,
me
we-
out.
Their
hear me
brain
out.
got
Maybe-
rerouted incorrectly. It had nothing to do with that. They weren't comparing the body. It's literally the stimulation and the endorphin that were released from their brain. They got, as far as what stimulated them, got changed. Your brain chemistry literally changed due to what they watched. It had nothing to do with how the men looked.
Also,
It's
the
just
type
But,
of
but
literally
hear
men
me
what's
out. But
going
hear me
on.
out. Maybe it's possible to, I guess, remind men in some capacity that, like, hey, you know, like somebody's gonna want to fuck you. So it might not, you might not find them today or tomorrow, but there's somebody out there for you.
Probably like 50 years.
And I still, and I believe, I personally believe that, where it's like, I think that men are sometimes like, it sounds like a personal responsibility thing, but it's like, maybe it's possible that you need to like reach out into new spaces to find like if you're really like
Why?
actively trying to pursue a
Why
partner.
would you need to? Why would you need to do that if you already know what you prefer? See, the thing is, men
Well, you
men
never
are
know,
more
you know?
men are more. You do know. You know what you like. Men are more emotionally secure than women are, and I say secure
Oh
in the
no.
in the sense.
That's
No.
wrong. Men are
No, listen to what
actually.
I'm.
That's
Listen
a
to what
pain
I'm
thing,
saying.
okay? I want to hear
I'm
this.
saying
Pace.
they're more secure in the fact that men are more emotionally reserved. They're more they're secure like a safe. Men keep their emotions sort of bottled up. So when men
You have no
finally
choice.
find that woman or guy or whoever it is they like, it takes a while for man to unravel and
You should never
become
do it.
fully comfortable with himself, with his selected mate.
Never
And
unravel.
yeah,
What,
and when-
why do you think? Why do you think suicide?
I
bombers
agree,
happen?
Hobo. I
Wait.
agree.
I'm
Wait.
something I'm
Hobo.
extremely adamant about.
Okay,
This
hold on,
top, this specific, I'm extremely adamant about. If
I actually
anything,
agree with that, Hobo, because when we unravel and we let somebody get into our mind, it fucks with us for the long term.
okay. So I'll explain two things. First things, men generally we're not taught how to properly process our information. We're taught to literally shut up, and we're taught to take care of people. That's generally what we're all taught for the most part for majority of life. We don't get to unravel. That is what we're taught, and unfortunately, we don't get to deal with it correctly. That's why now I'm very happy the topic of like how men deal with emotions overall is being brought up more, because a lot of us aren't taught how to deal with it. So when we do unravel, it is never in a good way. It's never a good way. It's an explosion or whatever it may be. Now, as far as technically men are actually more romantic than women, just to let you guys know.
Yes, that is true.
You
And
said
that's
what? Say
because
that again.
Men are more
tend
romantic than
to
women.
invest more into it than women do. And it's
What's
actually
the metric for that?
Invest.
it's
So I'll
actually a
explain.
natural thing.
Why
Men
I'll explain.
have to do a lot to get a woman's attention.
Yes, we can use
Damn,
that
we don't
example.
even
That's a
need
good
games
example.
tonight. This is
So
Okay.
the reason why men are generally more romantic than women. When's the last time a girl did something romantic for you guys?
Never.
Yesterday.
Jane
Who just said
Cook
never?
hit me up in
Never.
the DMs, right? She was like, "Hey, I want to come back on," and that was the most beautiful thing, right? So yeah, right there.
What is like romantic's gonna vary from like person to person though, right? Like
Yeah, it
so,
is. That's why I'm
like,
at. That's why I
we're
didn't ask
not-
for specifics. What for you
Sure.
specifically,
Yeah.
in general, everyone here, like one guy said yesterday. But how often does that happen? I mean, it's not an
Oh,
often thing. We literally have dates in the year where we're expected to be that way. Also,
I think this is also socialization. I think
It
this
is
is more.
Yeah, that sounds sad for you
100%.
guys.
it
It's
is
not-
all socialization.
I-
It
I
is
dis-
all
I disagree.
socialization, and I hate it.
I
hate it.
disagree with that. I think it's there's a lot of social aspects to it, but it's also biological. You compare human men to any other species of animal. Male animals always have to go through some sort of courtship to get the mate. That's just biology.
If we're talking about a hierarchy of things, yes, you can say that we have to go to some sort of courtship in some extent, but we're not talking about that. You're talking about controlling emotions overall, which I said we're not allowed to. We're just allowed to sit there and be stoic all damn day. We have specific jobs is what we're taught of. That's why we're saying it's a societal thing where we're taught this way. We're literally taught this way, where it's just like, you have no emotions and don't break.
I mean,
That's it.
and it's not even just that. Like men, we say ourselves, like we tell this lie that like women get all these other things and all we want is sex in return. Like, oh man, if you do
No.
these things, men will. But like men don't like.
Oh, men want a lot.
Once you
return.
get in a
Because-
relationship, you realize that like a lot of women actually have higher sex drives than men. Like just once it's like they're in a social position to actually do so. Men like a lot of other things that don't involve sex. Like men love to be.
We like
men
things.
enjoy gifts. Men like I don't know. You can go
We
through
like-
the love languages. Like men
we
are
like
interested in
money.
a lot of those things.
Look, men. That's the biggest lie that men have ever told themselves is that all we want out of a woman is sex. Because at the end of the day,
No.
sex gets boring if that's all that she has to offer. And so they have to bring more to the table. And the way I view relationships in general, friendships, romantic relationships in general, they're all business transactions. In order for you to be in my
That sounds
life,
romantic.
you have to bring something of value in order for me to justify having a time slot in my day for you. So if you're part of my
Yes.
life, whether you're my friend, whether you're my girlfriend, my wife, my boyfriend, whatever the fuck you are to me, you have to bring value. And if you can't bring value to me, I have to weigh the options as to whether or not you are bringing negative value, which is that you're costing me money, or you're costing me time, or you're costing me emotional damage, and I have to weigh those
Emotional
options
damage.
and and kick you to the curb. But it's kind of men, not just men, but all people who are in relationships need to constantly be pruning the vineyards constantly to make sure that they have nothing that is not bearing positive fruit in their life connected to
Okay.
them.
So
I
I
think
understand. I
it makes
understand.
logical
Sorry.
sense that men are more romantic, if that's what the topic is, because men are like socialized to like chase after women, so we kind of have to get the attention of women. more
Listen,
so
one
than
thing
men.
Romantic
I'll
in what way? I feel like that's so subjective.
Well, women get our attention in terms of they have to look good for us to grab our eye, but we have to get their attention in terms of like being romantic.
No,
Hey,
I mean, okay, thanks for that
We have to
explanation.
have
But I
something of
mean,
value.
from
They look
romantic
good
in
for
what
us to grab
actions?
because
What actions are men doing that are more romantic?
Jay, are you paying for a first date?
proposing. We are proposing.
I'm Dutch. Yes.
No, not Dutch. Are you paying for a first date?
No.
Dude, yeah, like
Hey, first
I'll
date is
give-
Which
romantic.
I'm not mad at you, like, because I always pay for every date.
That's
but
that's a s-
That's
I think
romance.
there's
That's romance.
Paying for
Yeah.
things when
I'll
not asked
give you.
no,
is
not
romantic.
like I said, not even just Dutch, because like that's what
Because
a lot of women like.
that's
Oh, cool
called a
girls go
gift.
Dutch, but there's very few girls that are like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm doing it. Making the
It's
effort.
literally a
I
day
appreciated
dedicated
your
to it.
time.
Exactly, it's the effort. I'll give you an example. One of my exes
Right.
that I used to date, and what we would do every
Dun-dun.
weekend, I would have to plan the date, spend about $600 because I have to go get the rental car, pay for a
Yo, that's
hotel,
expensive,
get
bro.
get
Take me on a
get
date.
the
Take me on a
get
date.
the
Let's
wine,
go.
get the wine, get the dinner, figure out what event we were going to go to, and have a good time for a weekend. That was almost every weekend. I'm spending like a shit ton of money almost every
Bro,
weekend.
take me on a date. Just take me to
$1,800
And-
a
Pinterest.
month. I don't know.
Wow.
Are you getting a
think-
$600 rental
think-
car every weekend?
I'm gonna speak.
No, I'm talking about the total cost of the weekend is about $600. The rental car is like $400 because of the the $200 security deposit. But you get
All right,
that
I'm gonna
back.
speak on behalf. I'm gonna speak on
Uber.
behalf of women. Okay, so buckle up. Maybe my take's not that controversial. I believe that women appreciate when men do things just because they know that it's the thing to do.
Spontaneous.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
gonna
100%.
and it's gonna vary from
100%.
like it's
Love
gonna
that
vary
answer.
from thing to thing. And like for example, like maybe your girlfriend or partner, whoever, just like gets a little flutter in their heart if you just remember like to say good morning. Like maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's like remembering like something about a family member, even asking about a family member. Maybe it's eating their scrum. Like maybe that's the
what-
the thing.
Wait, what's a scrum?
You know
What?
what a scrum is.
Pom pom.
I
pom,
don't.
pom.
You know what a
The
scrum
pom
is.
pom 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 pom.
I think the good question to ask is what do
Wait, I'm
women
actually gonna
do in
Google this. What the
return
fuck is a scrum?
for men romantically other than offer sex?
Well, I don't think there
There's
should
many
be any.
there's many
like
things, there's many
sometimes there
things.
doesn't. sometimes it doesn't. I don't think it needs to be like some type of like return of it. Sometimes it's just like I'm gonna do this thing.
No, I'm
because
not
I know
talking
it's-
about in reciprocal. I'm talking about, we've been saying that men are generally the more romantic of the two sexes. Well, what do women do spontaneously that men should acknowledge as being romantic?
shutting
Anything?
up. Am I right?
Anything?
Yeah.
I will
Yeah,
acknowledge
shutting
anything.
up.
You give me a
That's
head
something-
pat.
That is
We're
something a
best friends.
misogynist would say. That's something a misogynist.
I will acknowledge anything.
There is, I think there is a culture of like, I'm
We're-
showing up and that's good enough. I think there is a culture of that.
That's
But-
that's lame. I think that's lame.
That is absolutely lame, and that's why I'm not
But
attracted to
that's-
those types of women.
Yeah,
That's why I
but yet-
actively pursue women who do more than just the bare minimum.
Yeah, and I'm a believer of like you are what you attract. That's one thing. But anyways, folks. I forgot where I was going.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah,
say.
I was gonna say that.
Oh,
I
so
was gonna say
dramatic.
it's really. I knew a girl. Well, actually, I didn't know a girl. Like, there's a big thing around women who like saying don't have sex for free. Like, sex is something that happens to women, not something that they experience that they're a part of. And I knew a girl that took that like very literally. Like, and she was like, she was cool with her, but she was like she
have
she
a
would
few
get desperate. She
friends.
would make a guy. She would like stop. Like, hey, can you give me a 4 for 4? Like, she needed some type of transaction before she had sex with a guy. Like,
What's a 4 for 4?
just like if she
From
met
Wendy's.
up with a guy after a club, like from Wendy's. Like, like she would like there.
Oh,
They
You
were
get,
going
chicken
home to hook up.
nugget, you get a 4-piece nuggie, a burger, fries, and a drink. It's all 4 for 4.
Yeah, but
Or
she
te-
like,
or te-
but she was like, oh, I want to go back with this guy. But if she does that, she had, like, I haven't gotten anything. He didn't give me a drink. He didn't get anything. So even though she wanted to have sex, she had to like, I gotta find something to make sure that he didn't win. He didn't get over on me. This was
You make it
this
sound
was-
like you make
It's
it
very
sound like she's, like-
transactional.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
very
technically
You
you're-
make
Oh.
it sound like really chaotic energy, where it's like
Technically,
you wanna come
it's
back to
true
the
though.
house, like,
That
can we
doesn't
go to
sound like a
Spencer?
relationship, though. That doesn't sound sustainable.
Yeah,
Technically,
I mean,
it's
maybe-
Well,
true.
and I'm sure
You don't have
our
to
boyfriend
do
would be
anything in a
different, but she
sexual
was just
relationship.
saying like the
I would-
concept of like having sex with free is like real. Like she thinks that like, yeah, if a guy has sex with her and he didn't do anything for her, like she was just attracted to
she
him,
lost.
that would be like, yeah, she lost. That would be
There's
bad.
some really cool people in this world, huh? Like really cool people.
Technically,
It's just
Technically, you're not lying. Technically,
I
you're
mean,
not lying. You're
or,
technically
like,
true.
If you live above like a 7-Eleven, like that'd be a very easy thing. Like, but I just feel like that'd be really chaotic. Like you're attracted to someone, like you have a good night, but then what if everything's closed? Like, what do? You just go
Yeah.
home, like.
And McDonald's or something that's open 24 hours.
Does nobody know how to cook? Anyways,
So, did you?
what are we talking about, by the way?
Ah, okay.
We gotta end
Anyway,
it.
Yeah.
We've been-
Yeah,
So-
we gotta end it. It's time to go.
So, thank you all for coming through. This has been a lot of fun. To my audience, we will continue on. We're not done. We never are. Right? We're not done. We have more content for you. I will walk on panel where you, yes, who's staying at home, may participate. So stick around for that. We're just gonna give these amazing people an exit. But yes, then we'll have an open panel. So stick around. We're gonna have a great time, and we love to do Europeans. All right. So right, and then follow the channel if you've been enjoying this content. If you liked what we were doing here, right, we take you on a bit of a roller coaster, emotional roller coaster today. So if you enjoyed any of that, follow this channel, subscribe to this channel, help out this community, right? Hit that like button, all that good stuff. Help out this community to keep it around. Hit us up on social media, Expert Social. Hit us up on Twitter, where we let you know what's going on. So, like, in case you ever don't know, Twitter is the place to find out. Discord. Apparently people don't seem to realize, but I guess I have to say it more often. Hey guys, like, I have a schedule. Like, I have like a literal schedule. I have like a calendar on my Discord and on the Twitch page that you're on, right? Like down below, there's a calendar. They're like, oh, I don't know where Prime is coming on. I've had that schedule for 2 years. I updated. Here's what's happening. Even when I'm doing something that's not on not on my channel, I put it there. So in case you're wondering, something's happening, hit up the Discord, right? Or where you can find that link easily, or the Twitch page right here. There's a schedule, a Google Calendar. It shows you everything. So apparently you don't know. TikTok, follow us on TikTok and like our videos. We're putting up great clips there of the show, things you might have missed, and maybe some other content. And then, of course, our YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Consider becoming a YouTube member, hitting that join button. All right, I'm gonna give these people an outro, but stick around. The stream is not over. The stream is not over. Just giving these people an outro. We'll start with Bam. All right, we want to get no, I'm not gonna say it.
Set the
Look, it's
tone.
fine.
Exactly.
No, it's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Look.
Look.
All right, my man Bam. I'm always happy to have you around. It's just a blast having you come through. So thank you for often saying yes. Often being part of this. It's much appreciated. I want you to know that.
Oh yeah, I always appreciate the invite. I'm gonna come every time I can make it. Love being here. Y'all, message chat and anybody here. Don't be an incel. That's lame. Like there's people out there for you. Just be normal. And you don't have to be like normal in like a societal sense normal, but just don't be weird. And we
Don't
know
be
what
creepy.
weird means.
Just
Yeah,
get
don't
a
be creepy.
haircut.
Yeah, what? Give yourself a wash. Like you can't be like be like your favorite streamer who makes hundreds of thousands of dollars and can afford to wear sweatpants every day and still get girl. Like you don't got that position. So like straighten yourself up. Go find you the person that's for you. I'm not even gonna say gender. Find the person that's for you, and getting them guts. Thanks.
I'd like to add on that and say this excludes all the autistic and non-able-bodied people. So if you're an able-bodied person, you have no excuse to get some pussy. No excuse. And if you're not, then you truly are a creep and weirdo.
Wait a minute.
Okay. Wow.
Is that not true? That's true, right?
You made
What?
it weird.
Oh,
See, don't be like Dream.
Don't be-
Dream
Don't
is one
be
of them.
Dream.
Yeah,
Don't be
I was
weird.
a swing and a miss. I'm sorry, I was a swing and a miss on my end. Anyways,
Yeah.
I would have got a girlfriend, so I don't gotta do anything like that. Gotcha.
Dream's a handsome guy. He's already got himself taken care of. But Dream, go ahead, please, with that outro. And Dream, you always appreciate too. Just want to make sure you know that as well. We're always glad to have you around.
Absolutely, and I feel the love all the time from Prime. I love you so much, man. You make mine Thursday nights really enjoyable. Appreciate you, my man. Thanks for having me, and I appreciate everybody else here. Bam, Pace, Hobo, Cook, and Joe. All great people. Very enjoyable conversation, and they're not absolutely out of their minds insane. So that's
However-
helps as well.
Oh,
There's no however. No, that's just it.
Uh,
So that's what I like about you guys. I've had some conversations with out of their minds insane people, and it's really not enjoyable. So, thank you.
Bam. Are we gonna have? I'm not sure if his headphones are on. I guess not. I'll get them later. All right, so let's go to Pace. Pace, thank you so much for being here, for having a different opinion. We love people with different opinions here. We love people coming from a different perspective and who are willing to fight. So we're like excited that you're around, Pace. Seriously, thank you.
Well, thank you for having me on. I'd like to clarify something because I was reading the comments, and people seem to think that I'm a Republican. I am not. I'm a registered member of the Constitution Party, and the Republicans, just like the Democrats, the Republicans are spineless. Democrats are a hive mind, and they're all no good. But I just thank you for having me here on the show. This last topic, it was a non-issue that somehow became an issue, and it was really fun. Things did get heated a little somewhere on there, but thank you for having me on the show. You can check me out at the Story of America with Payson Williams anytime. We post every day of the week except for on Thursdays.
Put your link in my Twitch chat so people can find you, and for everyone too. I put your link in my Twitch chat. Okay. Next, we will go to.
I don't even know how to do that. Your
You're a Luddite.
wonderful viewers told me last week how to get to Twitch. I have never seen Twitch before, so I don't know how to do that.
I'm gonna send you the link right now. Okay. All right. But next we'll go to Pace. Pace, it's been a blast having you around, and I hope we can have more of you in the future because you're a lot of fun. Thank you for coming through, Pace.
Thank you.
That's it.
He?
What?
Sorry. Oh, I said. Oh, fuck. I meant to say. Not you, Pace. No, you are a lot of fun. I meant. I meant
You meant
all
to
that
say
to
me.
Hobo. No, I meant to say Hobo.
Oh,
Yeah, you meant to say me,
Hobo.
man. I'm fun.
You're fun, Hobo. I apologize. I apologize.
Listen, all right, since you're addressing the chat, listen, the chat says I'm a simp. Listen, I am. I'm not. Listen, but side note, I always have fun. It's actually very fun. Listen, Dream, you're great. You're great, Dream. I love it. I love it. It's the greatest thing ever. But outside that, thanks for having me. This time I actually remember to log into chat, so I read some of chat stuff while stuff was going on. I wish that other guy was still here because I was getting great. I was so ready to get hype. But I'm gonna link my. You said you can put links in the chat. I'll put a link to my Anchor page that has where my podcast is if anyone wants to listen to that. And yeah, I don't really have much to say. Hopefully, I get to come back again. I don't know. Hopefully, I learn to stay on topic as best as I can. And yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you,
Whoever's
thank
next
you.
is we got readjusted.
Next we'll go to my man Joe. It's MVP. We're calling that for a reason. Joe Lewis. Thank you for coming through. Thank you just popping in right at the end there. But even like for the one topic, you barely got any time, right? You're high impact, right? That's why we call you MVP. Joe Lewis, thank you for stopping by.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I guess I'll make my first topic statement here in closing, and that way you guys can't argue it. I'm generally in support of school infrastructure as it relates to problems in public schools. I think that expansion of surveillance on outside of school grounds is very important, especially since we know that like most acts of violence in schools actually happen in parking lots and what's defined as school grounds, which are buildings or structures that are outside the main school itself. So I think like expansion to security and surveillance there, and then just mechanisms like so. If something, for instance, if a door is propped open after a certain amount of time, an alarm sounds, and then certain triggers come from there. Obviously, the expansion of guidance counselors and stuff like that. I'm also generally in support of Class 3 officers as opposed to SROs. And that's a little bit more complicated because the function and purpose of an SRO is different than the function of a Class 3 officer, and the funding is significantly different. I think most school districts can probably afford a Class 3 officer before they could probably afford an SRO. And yeah, just generally, I think the conversation gets far to guns instead of being about like school security and making sure like we help young boys and young teenagers in crisis. Yeah, second topic was fun. I guess it was, I don't know. You can follow me if you want to hear more, I guess, of what I have to say at twitch.tv/Joe Lewis with 2 O's. So it's JOOELEWIS. Sorry for the late call. I had a lot of stuff going on. It's marching band season, so my time's a little spread. But yeah, either way, I'm glad to be here.
Much. Yeah. And then we have Jay Ada. Jay, I was really happy that you came through. I'm glad, and when you jumped in, you had a lot to say on this topic. It was just really great to have your perspective here. It wouldn't have been as great without you. So I'm super glad you're back, Jay. Right, save me from all these men. Right, they like the chat's falling. This all falling apart without you. Right, Dream's never been the same since you've been gone. So thank you, Jay, for coming back.
No, it's always great to be here. I gotta say I almost didn't come, but then I was like, you know what? I haven't been in forever and I had a free night. So I thought, hell yeah, brother. Yeah, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter or on Twitch, I'm under J Cooks Nada. Or Schnada for some of you. I don't know where it comes from. I don't.
Snada. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah, we don't really do cooking streams anymore, but I'm working on that. Right now we're going through Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I hate it. So much. It's the worst Tomb Raider game, I gotta say. But yeah, I will see you guys. I think I'll see you guys next Thursday. I think I should be free.
Thank you so much. All right, so like I said, we're going to turn off our content, right? So stick around. Yeah, thank you all for coming through. Much appreciated. This has been a really fun panel. So anyone here can join us for our next one for open panel, but if not, that's okay. Thanks for spending your time, your energy, your knowledge, and your passion in my community. You know, they appreciate just what I do. Have a good one. Bye.